I was just a shadow in my own plan, counting dreams, holding books in my hand. Then you came crashing like a storm through my sky. Danger in your smile, but truth in your eyes. And I swore I'd never fall, but you made me break my walls. It started as a game, but my heart won't be the same. It's a dare to love, a risk I'm taking, a flame in the dark, a fire worth saving. I was safe, I was strong, but I needed something more. So I'm daring to love. You're the noise that keeps me wide awake.
The final days of the day loomed like storm clouds. Ella could feel the pressure mounting, the whispers in school growing sharper, the stares heavier, the unspoken question in her own heart louder. What happens when the month is over? Mikel had promised to prove himself. And in many ways, he had. He was softer now, gentler with her, almost protective. But the world refused to believe him. And worse, Ella wasn't sure if she believed him either. The breaking point came on a Thursday afternoon. Ella was walking toward the library when she overheard laughter spilling from the boys' changing room. She might have kept walking until she heard her own name. "Guy, I still can't believe you pulled that off," one boy said. Ella Johnson, the nut queen herself, another mocked. From textbooks to bad boys and candy. Who knew Mikel could tame her? And then came the dagger. 30 days, right? The day is almost up. What happens then? Laughter erupted. Obviously, he'll move on. Same way he does with all the others. Ella's stomach dropped. Her vision blurred. She didn't wait to hear more. She ran. When Mikel found her hours later, she was sitting alone in an empty classroom, staring blankly at her notes. "There you are," he said, relief flooding his voice. "I've been looking everywhere." "Is it true?" Ella cut in, her voice flat. He froze. "What?" "The boys. I heard them. They said this was all still a dare. That once the 30 days are over, you just move on." Michael's jaw clenched. "Ella, you know me better than that." "Do I?" She shot back, her eyes burning. "Because all I know is that this started as a joke. A stupid game. And maybe I was the fool who thought it could be more." His face fell. "It is more. I told you." "Then why does everyone else think otherwise?" "Because they don't know me like you do," he snapped. Ella stood, her hands trembling. "Or maybe they do. Maybe I'm the one who doesn't know you at all." Silence crashed between them. Finally, she whispered, "I can't do this, Mikel. Not anymore." And before he could stop her, she walked away. The next few days were agony. Ella buried herself in her books, trying to drown the ache in her chest. But no formula, no textbook, no exam prep could erase the memory of his eyes when she walked away. Mikel, meanwhile, tried everything. He waited outside her classes, called her name in the halls, even showed up at her house once, only for her to refuse to come out. "She doesn't want to see you," her mother said firmly through the window. And for the first time in a long time, Mikel felt powerless. The school buzzed with gossip. "See, we told her it was just a dare. Poor Ella. She should have known better." Ella forced herself to ignore it, but the whisper stung. Still, she told herself it was better this way. She had her plans, her future. Distractions like Mikel could only ruin everything. But at night, when she lay in bed, tears slipped down her cheeks. Because the truth she couldn't admit out loud was simple: she loved him. Mikel, on the other hand, spiraled. For days, he skipped practice. His usual swagger disappeared. Even his friends noticed. "Guy, what's wrong with you?" Ton asked. But Mikel just shook his head. How could he explain? For once in his life, he had found someone who saw past the bravado, past the bad boy mask, someone who saw him. And he had lost her. And the worst part? It was his fault. On the 30th day, the official end of the day, Mikel made one last attempt. He found Ella in the library, hunched over her notes as usual. "Johnson," he said softly. She didn't look up. "You shouldn't be here." "I know. But I had to say this." Finally, she raised her eyes, and the sadness in them almost broke him. "I was stupid," he admitted. "I let them make jokes, let them twist the truth. But Ella, I swear." Somewhere along the line, it stopped being a dare. It stopped being about proving anything to anyone. It became about you. Her throat tightened. "Mikel. I don't want it to end," he said, his voice raw. "Not now. Not ever." Ella blinked back tears. "But how do I know this isn't just another game?" "Because for the first time in my life," he said, his voice breaking, "I'm not playing." Silence hung heavy. And though her heart ached, Ella whispered the words she thought would save them both. "I can't, Mikel. I can't risk it." Then she gathered her books and walked away, leaving him standing alone, with nothing but regret.
Just a foolish game, but now nothing feels the same. It's a day